In a small village nestled between green hills, there lived a greedy dog named Rufus. Rufus was a large, beautiful dog with shiny brown fur and intelligent eyes. He lived with his wise, elderly owner in a small wooden house. The old man loved Rufus and took good care of him, giving him delicious food every day. However, Rufus always felt hungry and wanted more. One day, while Rufus was wandering in the nearby forest looking for something tasty, he smelled the aroma of fresh meat. He followed the scent to a large tree where he found a big, juicy piece of meat lying on the ground. Rufus was overjoyed, and, without thinking, grabbed the meat between his strong jaws and started running back home. As he was crossing a small wooden bridge over the river, Rufus looked down and saw his reflection in the water. But Rufus, being greedy, thought there was another dog with a bigger, juicier piece of meat. His heart filled with greed, and he wanted that piece of meat too. Rufus decided to scare the other dog to take its meat. He started barking loudly, baring his teeth to look intimidating. But as soon as he opened his mouth to bark, the piece of meat fell from his jaws, dropped into the water, and sank. Rufus tried to catch it, but he failed. The water was deep, and the river's currents were strong. Rufus felt very sad, and stood on the bridge looking at the water with regretful eyes. He realized at that moment that his greed had made him lose what he already had. When he returned home with tearful eyes, the wise old man understood what had happened. He sat beside Rufus, gently patted his head, and said, "Rufus, greed can make you lose everything you have. Learn to be content with what you have." From that day on, Rufus became a different dog. He began to appreciate the food the old man gave him, and learned a valuable lesson about contentment and satisfaction. Rufus lived peacefully and happily, always remembering that contentment is a treasure that never fades.
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel